And now we're at, wow, 15 people here right now. I did not think we would have that many before the stream, seeing that I started it a little early. But thank you so much for tuning in. 15 people already. Make sure to hit that like button to help push through the analytics and help us push through the algorithm. It'll help more people reach this fine community. We have a lot to talk about today. I'll show you what I was talking about this morning in the update about the whale who sold, I believe it was 24 million XRP, which helped lead to a little bit of a push down. But we'll see what's going to transpire. We'll make sure we take a look at the pattern formations in depth, I should say. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. As we know, it came up over our target. We'll talk about everything we need to talk about. It broke out of an expanded broadening wedge, and we had some nice targets that are playing out right now. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. Cryptic Crypto, Mr. Extra Sour Cream Taco Supreme, Alex, Mel, Brad, Devin, XRP Stu, welcome in. Messi, Mark, Marcus, Silverhawk, Angela, welcome in, love. JW, good evening, my friend. Hopefully you're having a blessed afternoon, as always. Silverhawk, good evening. Tanya, welcome in, love. You're at work. I think that said you were at work. Oh, just got off work. Even better. Even better. Nothing better than that, right, Tanya? We'll take a look at H-Bar for you tonight as well. Straight Six, good evening. Matt Holden, Terry, welcome in from Mexico. If I missed anybody, I apologize. There was just a lot of people talking. Yes, it's getting heavy, Silverhawk. I agree. Miss Vicky, welcome in, love. Truth, good evening. David Kennedy made it home from earlier. Awesome, David. I'm glad you're home safe. It's good to see you back in here. Now you can at least relax while you're watching this one. So good evening. 5:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. As we're an hour and 11 minutes before the daily close, we'll try to do at least a good half hour here and see how it goes. I think we have enough content here for a good solid half hour. We'll see how it goes in the back and forth, and we'll see exactly what everybody wants to see or what everybody's feeling about the market. So I think right off the bat, we make a U-turn and start off with H-Bar for Tanya, sitting at 647, up about 0.82% on the day. Marcus, welcome in. Mario Lewis, Willamese, good evening. Mississippi 601, welcome in. UK Phil, welcome. I love the UK. A lot of people from the UK. Terry, you be safe while driving that car, and you don't need to respond anymore. Just drive. Although you probably have a touch screen or whatever. Voiceover. Prana Aloha coming in from Hawaii. Yes, Devin, H-Bar. H-Bar is looking pretty good, doing exactly what we want it to do, and it's starting to move up. Josh from Dryden, Michigan. Josh, no joke. When I was a kid, from 12 to almost 20, I lived in Dryden, on Dryden Road. My mom was married to my stepdad. They got divorced, but I used to live in Dryden. That's small world. So, I love Dryden. Now I live in Clawson. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in. I always wondered what Dryden looked like now compared to when I moved, it's been a good 20 years almost. That's crazy to think, but it's been like 20 years since I lived in Dryden. David, not much going on in Crawbillies. I'm living the dream, my friends. Just able to watch the charts, here with all of you, all of my friends, and we'll try to stay out ahead of this. So, H-Bar, UK cold here. Oh, it's cold here too. It's 20, no, not 28. I think it's like 33 right now in Michigan. It was a little bit warmer today. I know I'm saying warmer, but from where it was, it's a little warmer. 35, see? So 35 degrees right now. Good evening, John Hall. Welcome in. Stay warm, Marcus. Stay warm. So we got the bounce down here to the pivot point at 575. Now the next layer we're going to look at is the break over this rising channel resistance. Maybe you could come out to about 7 cents, and then you break back down to about 6, 7 and validate this movement. Or you break up to the next layer. But typically when you're stuck in a rising channel and that's a big pivot point on the way up or down, helping you have big moves up or big breaks down eventually. Once we get into here, you would think with H-Bar you're going to not just go boom. You'd probably go like this and ride your way up. But I want to see a, nice breakout and do it like that. So Tanya, we're looking good. We're just trying to break over this uptrending resistance that you're well aware of at that 6.6 level approximately. I know it's probably dooms. Cold in Dublin, but I am Canadian. Don't miss the cold wind and snow. No, I bet you don't. You got some brutal winters up there in Canada. To my brothers and sisters to the north, eh? But XRP 6193. We're still above the 618. I still think we're in this bull flag trying to play out. I know it looks weird in the higher time frames, but it really is trying to play out here. And now we have a smaller bull flag. You see the breakout? Can everybody see it? Looks like we have a bull flag formed on the outside of this as well. I mean, look at this. This is the small breakout. It just so happened to be on the outside of this. And we can see this is a strong setup. That's strong. Go to a smaller time frame. Maybe this will make it easier to see. But this is a good setup. This is trying to break out of the smaller structure. That looks like a bull flag playing out again. So it looks like we're going to get out of here. We should get out of here. And if this plays out, this will bring us up here and we'll be retesting that area. So we'll see. But it looks like it's starting to play out in our favor here. Because if you look at this, boom, that's how it was. And now you broke this on the outside. So it looks like it's starting to flag out of here. So if it does, you should get back up here. It's going to definitely bring us over this. We're consolidating through here. So it looks like, in fact, that's a bull flag that was disguised as a bear flag, like we called out. And now it looks like it's bull flagging out of it, which is very bullish. This is a bullish setup. So we'll see what happens here. It didn't start off bullish, but you had that extreme wick pull up, and you can see it in the higher time frames. I know it looks weird, but let me get this out of the way. We had this wick down, so I was saying that that's a bull flag. That's actually a bull flag. And now it's bull flagging out of it. So this is very interesting. This is a very interesting development here in the last several hours. We've gotten this nice correction here as well. And what looks like it's going to finish out as a dragonfly doji, which it could try to trick everybody into thinking that that's not a bullish setup. But typically that's going to play up out of the small rotation right here. This little setup here, and that should bring us up towards that 65 cent mark. I mean, should we expect anything else? Like, here's the question that I put out for everybody. And before I get into Bitcoin, we'll look at the whale and what they did. But should we be expecting, should XRP holders be expecting a pump here with Bitcoin over 44,300? Should we be expecting it? Please make sure to hit that like button. Only 36 likes and 87 people watching. That's downright horrendous. Is that how bad this update is so far? Please make sure to hit that like button. Seriously. That's the only way to push this content. If you don't want to hit that like button or share this on social media, you can always send me a YouTube super chat, as I haven't had one during the live, or you can join Tom's Army. But I believe in the greater good here. I believe the more of you than not will do the right thing and hit that like button and share this on social media. I don't do any paid promotions, advertisements, or sponsorships of any kind. I don't charge for any of my content. I show you my trading portfolio daily when it's time to buy, and how to do it, and when the accumulation spots are. And I've been doing it since 21, never missed a day since March of 2021 when I started. I think it's worth a like. I think what we do here is worth a like. So please make sure to hit that like button. I'd be internally grateful. So that is 100% what I'm seeing with XRP, 100%. And make sure you follow Crypto Scrooge. I seen him sneak in here. He covers everything on the ledger, covers solo primarily, but he also covers the ledger. He'll talk about Quorium, but anything connected to XRP and then some. So follow him on YouTube. He could use your support as I could as well. So whale moves 24 million XRP as price nosedives below 62 cents. What's next? A whale transferred 24 million XRP tokens recently, as reported by Crypto Transfer Alert platform Whale Alert. The staggering amount of tokens transferred was worth 14.88 million. The movement was recorded between an unknown wallet and prominent crypto exchange Bitstamp. The XRP gas fees are comparatively low, so the whale paid a mere 0.000015 XRP to execute the trade. The XRP whale accumulation driving price action. In the last 24 hours, this is the second whale occurrence. Before this, on December 4th, an equivalent sum of tokens, 24.2 million XRP, was again transferred to the crypto exchange Bitstamp. This led to speculations among XRP holders about whether the whales were manipulating the XRP surge dump. The crypto bull market and a lot of optimism triggered the recent rally, which took XRP above 60 cents. However, the rally didn't last long due to several reasons. This is why I continue to say you can't just look at Bitcoin for XRP's price action. That might have been, I always say it's so 2021 or late 2022 as it went to rest. But there is by no means a correlation with Bitcoin going up and XRP. Look what just happened. Look what's just happened. That might give you a signal that there could be a catalyst for an altcoin movement or an XRP movement. But right now the money's pouring into Bitcoin. And for anybody who doesn't understand the money flow when it goes into Bitcoin, alts suffer. Sure, the ones with smaller market caps and smaller coin circulations will end up moving a little bit quicker. But in the end, just because XRP hasn't moved yet, if you've learned anything from history, it doesn't mean it's not going to. In fact, if this is a pump and dump, XRP would be anticipated to pump last. So we're going to have to be very careful here, because if I get a firm rejection at 85 cents, that's going to tell us we got a lot of correction going about in half. And that is when everybody can make their decision. Hey, do I really want to keep riding XRP if I bought it in late 22, early 23? Do I want to ride it if it gets to 85 and gets rejected? Or do I want to take my 100% plus, assuming we're outside of our 1 year of holding? Now, if we get into February and March and we're talking the same thing, I won't have the restriction of 30% or 35% capital gain. So, you know what? Who knows? It looks like this rotation is going to take a little while. So, however, the rally didn't last long due to several reasons. One of the main reasons are lack of institutional interest. Most of the investors turned their faces toward Bitcoin and Ethereum. Due to this, the outflow and liquidation increase resulted in a price slump. The good thing is that the number of holders keeps increasing according to Santiment. The total number of XRP holders is above 4.88 million, which shows that investors are showing interest in XRP. XRP found it hard to remain in the same green zone and slumped on Tuesday after gaining 3% on the last day. XRP Long, a community favorite, now targets institutions seen as pivotal for the upcoming bull run. According to recent data shared by CoinShare, XRP falls behind as Solana dominates with significant institutional inflows. Weekly data reveals that XRP attracted 0.5 million in ETP inflows by December 1st. In contrast, Solana saw a substantial 4.3 million, exposing a noticeable gap in yearly flows. The divergence of institutional investors from XRP to other altcoins is one of the major reasons why XRP is struggling to maintain the 60-cent resistance. And what do most people do with XRP? They will mortgage their XRP tokens by putting them into another, letting them pump, and then putting it into XRP because they know typically by historical data that it will pump later in the game. At the press time, XRP price was trading at 0.620908, indicating a 1.3% decrease in the last 24 hours and a 2.99% increase in the last 7 days. With a slight drop in trading volume, the 24-hour trading volume of XRP was at 16. So that was what I wanted to share with that. I appreciate everybody hitting that like button, as we have 70 likes now. Please hit that like button. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. If you're a fan of what I do and you want to pay it forward, I'd love to see more people in Tom's Army during this holiday season. My birthday's in 12 days. I'll be 40. So the last few days of my 30s, which are already gone because I've been saying I'm 40 for the last year anyhow, just so my mind would be used to it. So my mind thinks I'm turning 41, but that is not true. Bitcoin 44,278, up 2,291 points on the day, or 5.46%. Bitcoin came down in it. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better consolidation. It did exactly what it needed to do, right into an inverted hammer, bounced off 42.6. And we talked about if it got on top of 42,600, it would be a very quick rally up and it wouldn't take long. And I even said yesterday you'd be looking at a 3, 4, 5,000 point move very quickly. And it got on top of 42,663 and it already moved up 2,000 points basically, 1,800 points. Now it's in the middle of a move. Now it should fill out this move and it should go up to 47,000 if it plays true. Now if it puts in a head here and breaks back down, because now that it broke into this segment, when we broke up, Bitcoin said, screw it, I'm not even back testing it. I bounced off up. Now, is this going to do the same thing where it just goes up and gets a back test there? Or is it finally going to come back down to get up? And is it going to keep going? Because right now, Bitcoin is in favor. It broke out of an expanded broadening wedge. A much bigger broadening wedge than it started in. And now the technical target, if it plays true, is 52,277. Like, that's the crazy part. If it plays the entirety of this wedge, the broadening wedge, and it plays true, Bitcoin could very well be seeing 52,000. How high can Bitcoin go? Bitcoin can go to 52,000 right now. It needs to get over where I circled there at 47,000. That's a major pivot point, and that would complete this cup and handle. So it's forming a very big cup, and it could get rejected at 47,000, but the overwhelming cup after the initial break was at 52,000. You can keep going up, but the technical target is 52,000. But like we talked about, with what is going on with Binance, we were anticipating a rally, especially in Bitcoin. We don't know how long it'll take for most of the alts to follow, especially XRP, but Bitcoin, because of what's going on December 15th in the USA, where Binance officially is going to delist the BUSD token, which is their stable coin, and God only knows how much was actually put into Bitcoin, into this rally or whatever, to pump it up so some of these big wigs can be cashed out here. So that's all we have to make sure, that if this is a pump and dump, we need to see if and when the pump's going to happen for not just XRP, but the rest of crypto. XRP, what we're anticipating for, while I have your attention here now that we're past the 6 o'clock hour, is we're looking for this rally to finish and complete. Even if we get a rejection up here, if it happens by my birthday, it'll happen right here. That's my birthday at 85 cents. If it comes down, then we'll have to start lowering the target. If it happens January 7th, we'd be targeting 82.3. That's just the way it works. If we go past that target, we have to go back farther, and we'll switch our movement as such. But right now, we've got the better part of about 10 days here to see if XRP can start rotating up. And when it does rotate, whether up or down, which I think there's more of a chance of rotating up here to end the year, it's going to be a sudden rotation. It's going to be sudden, and I think it's going to have like a 30% spike here in a short amount of time, whether it's to the top or downside. That's 37 to the top, 37 basically to the bottom. So whether it wants to break up or down, it's going to be a substantial move. So pay attention to that. XLM in its sweet spot right now. It's trying to ride off this 12 cents. This is still relevant. This is the exact same thing. It's just moving out a little bit. Same target if it breaks out. The solid goal of sitting on our hands for the year, though. Oh, gotta read that when it comes through. Is for 1 year, though, 2024, and starting taking profits in 25. I like the idea of when you say we have to leave our money for 1 year to get a less tax. Yep, I agree. But there shouldn't be any reason to be selling it anyhow. You know, you're looking for a maximum return. So unless you're looking at it's at a pattern resistance that's been going on like since 2016. Okay, 85 cents if some decided to sell there because they were confident it wasn't going over. That doesn't mean it won't. But if they were confident and they said, all right, this is the end of the pattern, it has history here and it always gets rejected or comes back through since 2017 or 18, I should say, in January, fine. But don't just do it in the middle of a rotation when it makes absolutely no sense. Like even in the daily, look at XLM. Some would say that's a long leg doji. I think that's more of a dragonfly, and it's looking more bullish, and it's a confusing candle right there. Getting more volume. But with what Bitcoin's doing, I just don't see. And I talked about how the dominance might have to go to 57. Remember? We've talked about this. 68% chance at 57.33. That could be where the alt season starts if it gets rejected at 57. It could already, you know, it's broken out of this formation high now. It looks like to me that it's going up to where we talked about, and we've been talking about this for a long time. So if that's the case and we need to go to 57%, maybe that's where it starts. But make no mistake about it. Make zero mistake about it. This is very bullish setup for altcoins right now. I don't know if you know what we're looking at here, but that is a very bullish setup when it finally reverses. That's a rising channel of epic proportions. And what is a rising channel? A bearish reversal at the top. Bearish reversal at the top. Where have we heard that before? Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. Let's put this back on. I took this off because it wasn't relevant anymore. But did the US dollar not have a rising channel? And once it busted, it came down? I mean, I don't want to put this back up, but that's exactly what it did. It had a rising channel, and it broke down. These are bearish reversals. These are bearish reversals when they break down for a reason. And all this really did was came from support to resistance, and now it's working its way back down to see if this pattern's even valid. But it goes into a rising channel, and people get excited. But really, it's just a bearish reversal. It happens 9 times out of 10 when you see that setup. And so it's starting to happen. It's starting to happen here. So, and that's happening with the Bitcoin dominance. So is it that hard to believe that it's going to be topping out here at some point? No, it's not. That's a massive rising channel. And when it rises, and this is eventually over, these are massive bearish reversals at the top. Otherwise, if there was real control here, it would have had a massive spike, like you'd get boom, you know, and then you go back into it. But this is just eventually it's going to happen, and when it does, alt season will start. If you see the Bitcoin, because right now with the dominance rising, most of the money's going into Bitcoin. Sure, some of the smaller ones are gaining a little bit. We've got Casper up 16.65%. One of our friends, we bought 10,000 tokens in the rotation, remember? What was my logic? Got to buy it in here because there's too big of spikes that come out there. I mean, everything we talked about is coming right to fruition. It really is. So, that's what I'm seeing. And if you see Casper right now, 483s, it's big resistance. It got hammered by it. Absolutely slaughtered. No surprise, though. It's got to have some kind of bull flag set up. And now it's looking like it's going to try to make sure 413 is the new one. But if this runs up, forget 4.7, you're talking 6.4 probably, more than likely. It's right up here. Oh, 5.3. And then, I forgot about that little layer. Nah, it's about 5.86 above that. But there's some real movement that could be had here with H-bar, or Casper. And then, I wanted to look at, we'll look at DGB, but then I wanted to look at XDC, and that was the last one I wanted to cover while I was on. DGB continues to move up. It held the 747 area after it broke the descending triangle. First layer is 890, but it's got a lot to go. Once it gets on and holds 890, you got another about 20% up to about the 107 mark. So a big rounding of the bottom. It's breaking out of that structure right now. And now it's just got to get over the resistance at 8.9 and it'll be off to the races for DGB. It's been long overdue. Long overdue. XDC had a nice little surge today. It's up about 12%, but it's pulled down a little bit here. A lot of volume coming in. It bounced right off of the descending structure, the descending channel. We talked about that, the overextension. Once it bounces from there, the next move is 575. Then ultimately, you know, we would have to break out of this area. But how would you possibly know, or how would we have known 575 is where it would get stuck in the mud? Pivot points, ladies and gentlemen. That was the old swing high. Now it would be the natural pattern resistance on a breakout attempt. It's just a rotation high. You get on top of that, use it as support. Now you're talking probably, be talking to that 6.1, possibly to 6.7. But these are very wide formations. When I said something didn't feel right last week, right before Bitcoin pumped, what, like 8,000 points now? It's because the market was set up for a rotational flip. Everything was in descending. Even XRP right now, it's still on a rotational flip. It just hasn't happened yet. It broke out of the first tier falling channel, and this is like the extension right now. If it breaks out of this little channel, goodbye. It'll be goodbye. Or one could take it farther and say it's starting to have an expanding wedge. I mean, what do we say? Is this more of a wedge? If it is, it better break out of here. Otherwise, you get volatility both ways. Like, that's what I'm saying. As the pattern goes, you can start to manipulate the pattern. And right now, that looks more like an expandable wedge, but it's coming to the downside. So, falling wedge, maybe? So, that's really the gist of what I'm looking at here. 100 people here now. Wow, thank you all so much. Thank you, Crypto Scrooge, for saying that. We usually get a spike. Yeah, at some point in December last year, in January, we had a nice run in XRP as well. But does that mean the exchange as in moved to USDC for 1 or more years, or taking profit in general? Yeah, no. You can't sell it. If you sell it and keep it on the exchange, it's over. You have to pay the tax. Once you sell it, even if you put it into a stable coin, it's the moment you sell your XRP or your crypto, the clock stops. You have to hold it. You have 300,000 DGB. Holy smokes. Even I'm jealous of that. I have 72,222. Even though, I only had 10,000 the first time around. And I got, 7.2 times more for 99% less, basically. So I'm not mad. But I really feel like we're on top of this. Eric, all you have to do is stay on this daily rotation. That's it. It's hard to figure out, but all I try to do is stay within the patterns. Now we know. Now we know if this breaks down, we've got a bigger fall. And we also have a bigger resistance above now. So now it's starting to show itself. This pattern's starting to reveal itself. It's starting to reveal itself, because we could very easily just stay like that and say, oh, we're in a falling channel, which we could. I would like to see this too, but just take into account now, unfortunately, with that wick up, XRP now has an expanded resistance, which it doesn't even matter. You know why this doesn't matter? If we weren't coming into a pattern resistance on this rising channel, then it would matter. But because we have that over the top, so look at your 3-tier resistance. These are all your resistance to get out of here. I like doing this. And I like seeing how this plays out. You're welcome, Devin. If you send crypto to a friend, well, the best I can tell you is someone's going to have to, if you send it as a gift, technically no, but it's going to, if you send it to a friend that on the exchange when they do their taxes, it's going to ask, like, where did all the money come from now? Some people would just ignore it, but it's going to show a plus minus in their account. If they don't trade the funds, or if they just withdraw, it'll be as if it never happened. So, as long as they don't trade the funds, but once they trade it, someone's going to have to pay the taxes on it. Songbird's up 130% in the last 2 days. Excellent. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at with XRP. Like, that's when I look at this is the gist of what I'm seeing. And the reason why there was a nice catalyst for corrections on like some of these is Bitcoin's the DXY is doing what we talked about. And for anybody who's been paying attention the last few days, the retest on the death cross here is what we've been talking about. It's no surprise that we're coming up here. We came up to about 104 spot. What was that, 15 or a little earlier, 104 spot 10. No surprise here. DXY had to come up for rejection. It's allowing gold and silver to come for consolidation. So if this gets rejected, just as much as this is coming down, if it does get rejected here, now the big drop happens. Now it can actually start pushing first layer down to just under 1-to-1 parity, and then down to 96 possibly. So it's going to be a dark day in hell here for the dollar if this gets tested and rejected here. Tom, my bank and some others in the UK have stopped the public from putting more than 3,000 euros a month into crypto exchanges. I was on the phone with them for... Yep, that is 100% true. I'm having problems, even though I haven't had to put any money into crypto in several years now because of good trade from 21. I do know I've been sent stuff, and my banks, especially Chase, won't even allow me to buy crypto with my bank account. I had to do it with credit cards in the past, and I would just take the points and pay it off. But yeah, they're blocking a lot of it, even in the USA. So that's another reason why I say, what are we really going to sell our crypto out for? You're not going to put it in the bank. So you're trying to hold this. One, you make profits, and then you sell it for precious metals if you want. By Scottsdale Mint in the USA, they take direct crypto for payment. Or you keep it as a form of payment in the future, and it's going to be your new money. What do I think of Flare? I love Flare. This community bought on FOMO Fridays 10,000 plus tokens at 0085. So we're sitting pretty right now. We didn't have to spend a bunch, just over 80, maybe $100 with how many total I had. But it's I like Flare. And I think in the future, one day, those 10,000 tokens, even though it only cost us, you know, 85 bucks, I think one day we're going to be sitting here, and I think we're going to be seeing a nice return. And like if you look at the Flare circulating supply, which I'm not sure how many people actually do, but it's got a decent amount of circulating tokens. So don't expect it to go to like $10 billion. When I say a nice return, I mean like maybe we buy it at 0.008 and maybe we can get it to 15-20 cents, and a $80 investment turns into several thousand. Because everybody who thinks Flare is just going to be this next big thing that's going to 500-600, 28 billion coins in circulation with a max of 101.41 billion. So same play as XRP with total circulating supply. So let's pay attention to that. So everybody, that's all I got tonight. I really appreciate everybody. I want to go spend some time with the family. If I decide to come on a little bit later, I might come back on. But this is exactly what I wanted to talk about. I don't want to wear out my welcome. I thought this was a very good and informative update, and I'm very proud of the way it went out and the back and forth with the audience. Please make sure to hit that like button if you appreciate my work, and hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around and see some more future updates and lives. If you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, you're welcome, JW, anytime. Matt, have a good night. But if you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, video description below. There's a few different exchanges that I personally use so that I can get lower spot fees, and then I'll send it wherever I want, whether to a wallet, whether to Uphold, yada, yada, yada. But you can futures or spot trade on the exchanges below. And then if you want to pay personal support, you can always join Tom's Army, send a YouTube super chat, but really hit that like button and share this on social media. Thank you all so much for sticking around. I know the charts are a little boring today, but I think this 32 minutes and up and down, left and right, was a beautiful way to look at the market. As we walk out, make sure on the total crypto market cap, if you are watching, we broke out of a structure, but remember, I talked about how there was nothing in between from 1.32 all the way up to 1.79, unless we wanted to put the in-between level, which I didn't want to, because I wanted to have a good expectation here, because there really is nothing. So as long as this plays true, we should be coming up to 1.795 trillion, and hopefully all that's not indicative on a Bitcoin move, but also the altcoins catching up. Stay blessed, everybody, and thank you for making the best part of my